I call on the Minister for Local Government, Housing and Community Development, the Honourable Premila Kumar. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also thank the Honourable Member for her question. Mr. Speaker, sir, the informal settlement upgrade is one of the key programs implemented by the Ministry of Housing to improve the quality of life of Fijians living in informal settlement around the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, prior to government intervention, 2 land developers were given development lease separately by TLTB to develop the land in Sakoca. Unfortunately, they failed to complete the subdivision. Many Fijians lost substantial amount of money, running into thousands of dollars. Both development leases were later terminated, and the government decided to step in and take over the responsibility to develop Sakoca. In consultation with TLTB, the Ministry acquired the development lease for Sakoca on 1st July 2017 for 10 years. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is also important to note at this point that the Ministry acquired the development lease for only one part of Sakoca, covering approximately 17 acres of land, and not the other part of Sakoca. So we can say Sakoca is into 2 parts. And the reason why we did not acquire the other part of Sakoca is simply because we need 60% of landowners to agree. So the portion which, or you can say the development lease that the ministry has, we are proceeding with the development work. Mr. Speaker, sir, the informal settlement upgrade project goes through several stages, such as planning, preliminary design, construction, and finally issuance of 99-year leases. Unlike in the past, where the governments were only focusing on state land, and there were very basic upgrade work were conducted. Wood and Jepson was appointed as the consultant for the project in January 2018 to design scheme and engineering plans and to manage the capital works. I'm pleased to inform the House that Sakoca has been identified as one of the 4 projects to commence capital works during this financial year. And I have been meeting the residents of Sakoca several times, discussing this particular project, sharing with them where we have reached, and even consulting them on several other matters. Mr. Speaker, sir, the scheme plan was approved by the Department of Town and Country Planning in April 2020. The environment impact assessment consultation for the project was held in Sakoca in December 2020, and the engineering plan for the project was lodged with Town and Country Planning for approval in January this year. The consultant is currently preparing the documents for tendering for capital works. Once a suitable contractor is selected through the tender process, the capital works will commence on site. Mr. Speaker, sir, often we are not able to achieve the result very quickly, and the reason being that residents are living in that area. It is basically an in situ development. And when it is in situ development, we try to bring in minimum disruption to the sitting tenants. And even when the development goes ahead, we find many other issues within the settlement which is not in line with the scheme plan. Often within the settlement, we do find people extending their houses or building new houses, which is not in line with the scheme plan. So sometimes this causes further delay. Mr. Speaker, sir, I believe I have provided explanation to the Honourable Member on her question, and it is important to note that the commitment made by this government to the Fijian citizens will always be met. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank the